We're talking to players that you've brought on board now. She's been with us then 3 seasons. Zoe is with us as well. Tell us about Zoe.
Yeah, so Zoe again come in, halfway through, through the 17-18 season. So it was originally James was the manager at the time, and it was the year that we gained promotion. So kind of the back end of that season, and then obviously when James left or moved on, actually when you kind of look at our squad now, there's been kind of that natural change in terms of players moving on, coming in, and me starting to build kind of a little bit of my own squad together. But Zoe's been one of the ones that have stayed with that the whole time through that. Reason for that, again, similar to what I've said about Jade, was the hard work, the dedication. Zoe, when she first come in, she's one of these players that would play anywhere and everywhere for the team. She'd play fullback, centre midfield, winger, and actually a little bit, it was not impacted her, but when you've got a player who will play anywhere, sometimes they don't naturally then have one position that they're working hard on week in, week out. So we did had a chat with Zoe. It was almost like the back end of start of last season, and it was, okay, what we need to do is now find you a position and go, right, you're going to work hard consistently on that. We obviously identified fullback area in terms of the energy she gives us. And then with her, we kind of sent her away for a little bit of time for a few weeks to go, right, go and master that in the development squad. And the turnaround of her coming into the first team was within the space of 3 or 4 weeks, because she worked so hard, she pushed herself, she goes, I want to know that role inside out. And then again, probably up there with one of our most consistent performers all last season. She plays a role fantastically well. I know often she's played on Jade's side, and they've started to build up that relationship of fullback and winger and a real good understanding. She had a bit of an injury setback at the start of the season away at Crawley Wasps, which has impacted a little bit of her playing time. But actually, I had a conversation last week with her to tell her actually how much she is involved still in this first team and will be starting games. And when she gets that first game under her belt, I have no doubt that she'll have that same consistent run as she did last season, because she wants to work on her delivery, she wants to work on her crosses, she wants to work on a defensive side. And again, hopefully, and probably you see a lot on the pitch, Simon, we've got 10, 11 of them players across the whole park, and Zoe is one of them, who is willing to give everything for the team. And even when she isn't starting, it isn't the case of I'm not happy, it's what can I do, how can I improve? And that's a great mindset to have from a player.
Zoe, 3 years at MKDONS Women. How are you settling in? How do you feel what Charlie has said to you as well?
Yeah, really nice to hear from Charlie. Obviously had a bit of an injury setback this season, but previous to that, I felt like I'd sort of solidified my place in the team. I'd found my position. I think a couple of seasons ago, I think the only position I didn't play across the whole season was in goal. So a bit all over the place. I got the nickname James Milner because he also loves to just play anywhere. But no, I was really happy to have kind of settled into a position, kind of found my own style and kind of pushed on. And I'm really looking forward to being back on the pitch.
Being an all-rounder is not a bad thing, surely, but focusing on one spot, is that difficult for you to do? Or would you find yourself still are you disciplined enough to kind of make sure you are in one place at one time?
I actually find it quite a lot easier being in one place. I think when I was kind of playing fullback one week, centre midfield the next week, it was always kind of like there's someone else who is a centre midfielder, there's someone else that is a fullback. So if they're there, that's their position, I will move to somewhere else. But now I'm a fullback, that's my position, and it's now my job to work hard to make sure that I keep that position.
Yeah, and that is a discipline, isn't it? And having that on your side is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So you've got a great team around you. You're part of a great team as well. Tell me about some of the clubs you've played for, and how does MKDONS Women's compare?
So I played when I was younger, I played for a boys team until I was 12. I was a goalkeeper for a couple of years, and then I was 12, wasn't allowed to play with the boys anymore, moved to my local girls team, which was Banbury United, stayed there until I was 18 or 19, and then went to Northampton Town. I played there for a year and a half, and then one of the coaches got the job at Leicester City's development team, so he took me over there. I was there for about a year, played for the development, played a few games for the first team, But ultimately, with work commitments, the travelling was long days. I was getting home at kind of midnight, getting up at 6 for work, and then got in touch with MKDONS, and actually this is definitely the most professional club I've been at. Definitely Northampton and kind of Leicester at the start. Obviously they're in the Championship now, but they were kind of less sort of professional. It was kind of people turned up, they played football, but no one really had that desire, togetherness that we have at Dons now.
And isn't it brilliant though that the women's football game has improved like that though?
Yeah, massively. I mean, growing up, for me, it was play for a boys' team or you didn't play. But now there's so many opportunities for girls to play, and it's so good that we're going in the right direction, like as a club, as a sport in general.
No, that is absolutely brilliant. And tell me about your love of Liverpool.
Oh, absolutely love Liverpool. My granddad was a Liverpool supporter, so I think I kind of got that from him, and followed them all my life. We try to go up to Liverpool a couple times a year. My partner's also a Liverpool fan, so that works quite nicely. Yeah, we're just absolutely buzzing at the moment. Champions of the league. Can't complain.
No, absolutely. And maybe on track as well, maybe for a second season, perhaps.
We'll have to see. I think it's going to be a lot tighter this year with the way the season's gone. Our injuries at the moment are absolutely ridiculous, but we're coping quite well. So hopefully, yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a lot closer this year than it was last year.